Hey, what is up, traders? What is up, tycoons? Coming at y'all with a viewer request on VBK. Okay, this is Verbio. I believe this is on the German stock exchange. So shout out to all my overseas viewers. And we're going to break it down on the daily chart, show you guys some of the key levels to look out for. We're also going to look at the MACD and the relative strength index and show you the certain signals that you can spot on there, by using the MACD and the relative strength index. So make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And what we're looking at, okay, is we've already had a nice three-wave move to the upside. If you take a look here, these are three major retracement levels: the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8. If you take a look, connecting the swing low to the swing high up here, we had this sharp move to the upside. We pulled back, right? And there were two signs of a pullback coming at these levels. We'll go over those in a second. And look at where we came back and found support, right? Just in between our 50% and 61.8% levels. Now, the sell signals, okay, if you take a look at the MACD, you can spot a sell signal by looking at this blue line, right? And the MACD is very good on the daily chart for entries and exits. This blue line crossing below the orange line, this is going to be an exit signal, right? So we got an exit signal up here, and then we did have a small pullback, but we formed a little bit of a double bottom, kind of a W pattern, right? And we did like this, and we made a new high. So here we have a high, and then we have a higher high. Okay, if we actually take a look at the relative strength index, which is what we're going to look at next, we can see that we did something known as bearish divergence. So bearish divergence occurs when you're making higher highs, but the relative strength index, which is measuring the relative strength of a stock, is making lower highs. So we have a high here, and then we have a lower high at this same point, where we have a high and a higher high. So this is bearish divergence. It's an indicator you could see some bearish activity in the future. And then what do you see? You also see that the MACD curls above and then curls back down below. So when you have multiple signals aligning together, that's when you can have a little bit more confidence in your trade, and you tend to see a bigger move in the trade. So that's what we saw here. We made higher high, and then we got the MACD to curl back down below the orange line, and it resulted in a sharp pullback. Now, that pullback was actually just a healthy pullback, a retracement to continue going up higher. Nothing moves in a straight line up or a straight line down. So if you use these three major retracement levels, you can spot a trend continuation, right? Or you can spot a trend reversal if you break through those levels. Now, most recently, after we've completed our move here, we started forming some bearish divergence, and we got a MACD sell signal again. All right, so if you take a look, all right, right here we have a high, we have a lower high. At this point, we have a high, we have a higher high. So the relative strength index is making lower highs while the stock is making higher highs. That's a bearish divergence. What do you know? We also got the MACD sell signal right around that time, and we've had a very, very sharp move to the downside. Now, when you break this bearish divergence trend line, so that's something I want to highlight next. Notice how we rejected this trend line 3 times, okay? And once we broke through it right here on the chart, this is actually when we continued that uptrend and made a new high, right? So we had a high here, we had a lower high, we broke the bearish divergence trend line, and then we got the sharp move to the upside. So that's what we're looking at, is we need to break this bearish divergence trend line that we've rejected a few times on our relative strength index to really get any chance of a reversal. Now, there's a couple other things we need to do for a chance of a reversal, because right now we're already in a reversal from the upside to the downside, right? So if you take a look, we had this sharp move to the upside. We'll put on our Fibonacci support retracement levels, and you can see we actually broke right through those, okay? If we come here and put on our 618, our 382, and then our 0.5, that's going to be the three major retracement levels. And you can see here that we broke right through those. So that's spotting a reversal, and that's what we've been doing, right? So if we would have held these levels and continued upwards, that would have been trend continuation. But what we got was a reversal, and we're heading back down lower. There was a gap down here on the daily chart to fill. Okay, we recently just filled that gap. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this drawing real quick. But we had a gap down here. Gaps fill about 90% of the time historically. The big question is, when is it going to fill? Well, it just filled here recently, actually. And since we broke our major retracement support levels, what we're going to do is we're going to see if there's any type of a bounce coming, and look at the major resistance levels that we need to break through to get a reversal to the upside, because we already are working on the reversal to the downside. We're very close to our previous lows. If we break through our major support level of 55.60, our next support level is going to be 54.52 and then 46.15. Those are going to be key areas to look for a bounce for some type of a possible move back to the upside. But ultimately, if we come down and we do get a bounce, we need to watch out for these three levels: 67.75, 71.55, and 75.35. Those are going to be the three most important levels, because most likely we're going to get a trend continuation. But if we break through these levels, that's how we can spot a reversal. So be very cautious up here, going long or going short. This is a good area right here to really just let the price action dictate. Are we going to break out to the upside, or are we going to continue heading back down lower? Now, we don't have to get a bounce, okay? But there's a couple things that I'm looking at that say we could get some type of a bounce here soon. If you take a look, we have a low and we have a lower low, right? So clearly the stock is in a downtrend. But look at our relative strength index. We have a low and we're making higher lows. So this is actually in an uptrend now. This is what's known as bullish divergence, and it's an indicator we could see some type of bullish activity in the foreseeable future. So remember, we have this bearish divergence trend line on the top that we need to break out of, right, to possibly get this reversal to the upside. And then we have this bullish divergence trend line right here that we need to hold and continue to push higher on. So that way there's a chance that we could get some momentum to the upside. Pay close attention. Look for a break to the downside. If we break to the downside, most likely we're going to come down and retest some of these support levels that I just gave. And if we continue bouncing up higher, we want to see it break out of these levels. And if we get the breakout, most likely we're going to be up towards our major retracement levels. And you can take profit on some long positions here, and you can wait for a signal, right? Are we going to break out, retest, and continue higher, or are we going to come down and get rejected at these levels and continue heading lower? So yeah, that's what I'm watching right now on VBK. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I do these viewer requests every week. So if you want to see your ticker, your stock, your crypto, your bond in the next video, all you got to do is comment down below.